Shredded, buff, ripped, cut. Call it what you like, but there's so much information and advice out there. Let's cut to the chase and talk to an expert about how we can maximize our time in the gym. David, if I wanted to put on muscle mass, I have two things in my mind. I need to eat lots of protein and lift lots of heavy weights. Is that true?
In principle, you're spot on, Lee. Those are the two things that historically have been done probably since ancient Greek times. So the principle, while the principle is fairly correct, there are more specific elements in there, especially with regard to, for example, the protein that we now know a lot more about than we did as little as 5 to 10 years ago.
The protein itself, is that important? The quality of the protein?
The quality of the protein is important. The scientists have identified that leucine, one of the essential amino acids, is a key trigger to muscle growth. And whey protein, which is commonly marketed as a preferred supplement, a protein supplement, contains a relatively high concentration of leucine. Other protein sources may not contain as much leucine. The practicality here is that an experiment hasn't yet been devised to assess long-term whether taking flavored milk versus a relatively expensive protein that you buy for the shops makes a difference, a practical difference. So there's the distinction here is perhaps the difference between what's known physiologically to occur and actually what would occur in practical terms over maybe a 6-week training program.
It's almost more is better for gaining mass. Is that true?
The curious thing is, that's a fine question, because again, in principle, you think that because the muscle is made of protein, if you eat more protein, you get more muscle. So the logic is there. The curious thing here, though, is that we consume in our diet, provided you're a meat eater or you eat dairy, you eat a balanced diet, we consume far more protein than we actually need. So that the volume of protein that we consume, if we consume any more than that, it's not going to have any real effect.
And you said that leucine is important. Is that naturally occurring in some foods?
Yes, it is. So leucine is an essential amino acid. So you're going to get it in highest concentrations in dairy produce, meat. It does occur in relatively high concentrations also in, for example, almonds, nuts. But the best sources are going to be acquired, as they will be with almost all of the essential amino acids in animal produce. So if you're not, milk, for example, is a good alternative. If, for example, you didn't want to go and buy relatively expensive protein powder, flavored milk or yogurt or a dairy produce like that would still provide you with the essential amino acids, and particularly leucine, to be able to trigger this anabolic response in the muscle.
It sounds a lot cheaper than some of those protein supplements. Well, David, thanks very much for joining us.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Lee.